Welcome back. You're watching Gerard McClendon live on CLTV. 21 years in prison is no joke. How much would you want after being released? $192,000 and an apology? Man, you better give me some more money. 630-575-TALK is the number. I've got attorney Matt Belcher with me this evening. Before I go back to phones, attorney Belcher, Reeves was sentenced to life in prison while Kitchen was sent to death row, though his sentence was later commuted to life in prison by then-Governor George Ryan. Man, these guys could have been locked up in the pen forever or sentenced to death. Unreal.
It's unreal, Gerard. And the other thing you have to remember is when you're on death row, you're talking about how difficult Statesville is or how some of these prisons are. When you're on death row, you're talking about the worst of the worst. You're on lockdown, 23 hours a day, and you're segregated from everybody else.
Yeah.
It really is a psychological injury to these gentlemen. And I would like to remind all of your viewers that the 21 years is one thing, but they got another 50 years to live on. And these injuries are not going to resolve themselves. You just let them out. They're not okay.
That's right. That's right.
You got at least another 20 years ahead of themselves. So you're talking about $4,500 per year because they got at least 40. They got 40 more years of their life to worry about.
You know, Chuck D said it best from Public Enemy. Death row. What a brother. No. Let me go to phone calls. I'm going to Heather first. Heather, thanks for calling GML. What's your comment?
Well,
Hi, Heather.
I have a comment that I agree wholeheartedly with you that it is very wrong what they're offering them and that they had to spend that time in jail. But what I don't agree with you is why you think it's okay to say that it's because of race or their gender.
Why
the state of Illinois does not care about their race or gender. It could be with any other human being, and they would probably do the same. It is wrong. Yes,
Heather,
it is.
let me ask you this, though, Heather. There's the majority of people in prison are black men, all right? Yet we don't make up the majority of the population. Here's another issue. Do you think that, and I know this is, Matt Belcher is talking about state law here, but do you think that the fact that these men were imprisoned in the first place had something to do with their skin color?
No, I do not, because I have relatives that are in jail.
Wait a minute, Heather, how did they get, Heather, these men are innocent. How did they get to prison?
You know what? There's a lot of innocent people, and it doesn't matter about their color. They get the wrong handouts to them.
But you
know
know
it
what?
has nothing to do
but
with
you
the
know
color.
what? But these particular two people were black men, Heather, and it could have been
Heather. What about the two particular people that would be white men?
It could have
been
me, Heather.
Oh goodness, what happened to them? But then it wouldn't be a racist issue.
Hey,
see, I think you're being very racist by saying because they're black.
I want you to email me with two white men that have been wrongly accused. Heather,
Oh, really?
all right?
Because I got two for you, honey.
You make sure you email that. And here's the deal, Heather. You got to realize that we can't paint this with rose-colored glasses. You're making it seem like we live in a raceless society.
We do.
Oh.
We do not live in a society that is racism in it. Everybody's treated equally, except for when people are always like, oh, it's because of the color. Then that's a racist person.
Hey, Heather,
it has nothing to do with color.
Heather, hold up.
It has nothing to do
Heather,
with it.
do you believe that men get more advantages than women in this society?
No, I do not.
Oh, Heather, you know what? You got to wake up. Thanks for calling GML. Man, come on, Attorney Belcher. Help me out, man.
Hey,
you know what, Heather? Check it out, Heather. First of all, she said that sexism doesn't exist.
Right.
We know it does. We know that women get paid 20% less than men doing the same job. Come on, man.
Hey, Gerard, at least I'm happy to know CLTV gets broadcast out to Burr Ridge or Bannockburn, wherever she just called from, because she has no concept of the reality that exists in the city of Chicago dealing with the police officers.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you, if your only interaction with the police officer is you heard a creak out in the woods behind your house in Schaumburg, and he came by and shined his flashlight, and everything seemed okay, then you have a different perspective than the people living and breathing in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, if I have a white T-shirt on and a baseball hat in Burr Ridge or Schaumburg, I'm gonna get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? Hey, call me at 630-575-TALK. Hit me on CLTV.com/GML. I will be back in 2 minutes.